Yo, what's good YouTube? It's Boardzy, and it is time for an updated version of the biannual all-encompassing mousepad tier list. Early 2022, figured I would see what is the state of mousepads in early 2022. This list features over 70 mousepads, so all I ask in return for the production of this video is 70 likes and 70 new subscribers. That would change my life. This list has a new Hien clone tier. That is incredible. So all of these pads that go in this tier are essentially just clones of the Artisan Hien. We'll get to that later. But yeah, going to start off the list, as always, made by Synodote, owner of Revosect, the actual GOAT, with the Razer Acari, a pad that I'm actually going to put in the dogshit tier. This is a plastic mousepad from Razer. It costs $60. It's really not a big enough size or a special enough material to warrant that price, and you can honestly just avoid it. The glide on it's decent, but it actually had inconsistency issues, so really just not a good value. Next up, the bone pad, also going to be going in dogshit tier. I don't even know if that's produced anymore, but that's why you watch these tier lists. If I've used the mousepad once, reviewed it, it is on this list. So it was a really overpriced mud pad, and just, yeah, nothing was special about it. It was like $42 and $69. It was very hip. Now we have the POKIMANE pad. She has been in some drama recently. I'm going to decline to comment on that and throw it in the dogshit tier. Again, this was just like, I think it was a limited edition piece of merch. It was either $30 or $40. I bought it, and I think I made a vlog with it, so I'll throw that up in wherever. And yeah, not a good mouse pad. Next up, we have the Xtrfy GPZ1 Rocket Jump Ninjas mousepad. I'm going to throw this one in the C tier. If you really enjoy the slower feeling, you could probably throw in an A or B. But after shipping, it's basically $45 for a mousepad that has tons of issues lying flat. I guess to save on shipping costs, Xtrfy chooses to ship their mousepads in very tight tubes, but for a 4mm thick mousepad, you just can't do that without having quality issues as well. But the quality issues aside, the actual mousepad itself is very slow and control-oriented. I had humidity issues with it, and it just wasn't all around very special, at least in my opinion. But the whole shtick with it was that Rocket Jump Ninja got sent a ton of fabrics by Xtrfy and did a little NCAA style tournament with them, and the one that he picked as best turned out to be the mousepad. So that's that, but nothing I'm a huge fan of. The XTEN Control, this is a $100 cloth mousepad, and I honestly don't know where to put this. I don't like it nearly as much as the Artisan Zero, which is already looked at as the premium cloth mousepad, and it's just kind of a meme. It has tons of fraying issues because it doesn't have stitched edges. I'm honestly going to put it in the C tier because nobody should really be buying it. It's just like an enthusiast, like, flex item, I suppose, not really a serious mousepad. But yeah, that's that. It's made in Japan. Maybe it should go in seal of approval. Now we have the Razer Gigantus V2. Wow, really not great mousepads to start it off. At least this one is piss cheap. It's like $15 probably for the large size, good availability. But it has very bad issues when there's humidity or a temperature change. Just not a consistent mousepad, mud pad. You can use it for slower paced games if that's the style of pad you like, but nothing really special. Razer's made better pads. Now the Xtrfy GP4, I would say this one can go in A or B tier. I would definitely recommend buying this over the GPZ1, especially since it's cheaper. Some of the versions are not coated, but still have cool designs, and it's a solid control pad, has a sort of gritty feeling, and I never liked it because the Y-axis is a lot slower than the X-axis, so that kind of fucks it over for me. But overall, a good control pad for $30. Now we have the Zowie GSRSE, arguably the most overhyped mousepad ever. If you even heard of Fortnite in 2019, you owned a GSRSE. To prove this statement, I found a Discord log from 2019 of me using a GSRSE. This was before I was into reviewing, so you know that it was just a fact of the matter. So yeah, it's really just wasn't a great mousepad, especially considering the fact that it was like always sold out and it was basically being scalped. Now, if you can get one for 35 bucks, I still wouldn't really recommend it because the Vaxee PA exists. Where the fuck is that? Which is basically just Vaxee's version of the GSRSE, and in my experience, slightly improved in every way. Belongs in either the B or the A tier. Honestly, I would throw the PA in the A tier because, at least in my experience, the PA has not had any durability issues, which honestly plagued the GSRSE. People go through like 3 of those in a year. Honestly insane. Now we have the Artisan Hayate Kou, first mousepad going in the seal of approval. One of the most premium mousepads out there. If you get the X-Soft version, it's basically just like a high quality pillow, but for a mousepad. Has a very good like performance texture as well. That sounds like a Chinese advertisement, performance texture. But yeah, if you want a pad that's kind of in between the Artisan Hien and the Zero speed-wise, I think you will like the Otsu. Still has low dynamic friction, but nothing that would make you shaky, and just all around solid mousepad, but it comes at a premium price. It's like $5 more than a Hien. So now we have the old version of the Hayate Kou, which had some durability issues. I don't know what Artisan changed, but around a year ago they fixed it. So this one goes in dog shit. It's not really dog shit, but you can't buy it anymore, so it's just not worth putting anywhere else. Next up, we have the Artisan Hien, and I'm going to go out on a limb and call this not only the greatest mousepad of all time, but also the most influential, and you will see by the end of the tier list how many pads just go into this Hien clone tier. It basically just sparked up a new generation of textured mousepads because people realized, wait, these textured fast mousepads are quite good. And it's not even like uncontrollably fast. That's the thing worth mentioning. And the quality on Artisan mousepads is second to none. That means it is first. They're shipped flat. The stitching is absolutely perfect. They use a special model of pour-on foam, so they have the best bases, and it's really just a high-quality mousepad experience, and that's what really most of the clones lack. They don't get that artisan quality, but they basically get the texture down. The Glorious Helios. I don't know how this wound up getting here. I'm going to throw this in the dog shit tier. The Glorious hard mousepads are not very good. I removed it off my desk, it wound up on my floor, and then the adhesive was unusable because it had so much dog hair on it. Sure, that could be user error, but I feel like if a mousepad can't be dropped on a floor, it's not a good mousepad. Speaking of a mousepad you would think can't be dropped on the floor, but actually can, whereas the Xraypad, we have Xraypad, the glass mousepad. I'm honestly going to throw this in the A tier, the 2.0 version. Quite expensive. It's like 80 to 90 bucks for a piece of glass. The whole deal is that it is probably going to last you forever. But my issue with glass mousepads has always been that instead of a comfortable piece of cloth on your desk, you instead have like a slab of glass. The Xraypad 2.0 was very thick. That's where the 3.0 comes in. It's the newer version. It's thinner, bigger, more expensive. I think it's like 130 to 140 after shipping, and it's a lot faster as well. This is a very smooth feeling glass, while the Xraypad 2.0 almost feels like frosted when you swipe your finger across it. So the 2.0 is definitely more controlled. I like that there's options for what type of glass you want. And it's a product that I feel like people buy, and since it's so expensive, they feel obligated to commit to it. And honestly, if you do that, there's nothing wrong with it. I just feel like you can get similar performance on cheaper textured cloth pads, and I don't know, glass has just always been inconvenient. If there's a speck of dust on the mousepad, it'll scrape on your skates, as another example. So yeah, just not perfect. Speaking of something that is near perfect, the Artisan Zero. The Zero is advertised by Artisan as an improved QCK, and it really just gets everything right for a control pad. But it's really not a slow mousepad like some people think it is. Because the initial friction, what it takes to get the mouse going, compared to a lot of other control pads, is very low. But when you're moving the mouse around, especially on the softer, the X-Soft variants, there's definitely a lot of like stopping power and control. So it's just like a staple food of mousepads, a staple mousepad, if you will. And I think it's great. If you want to have the easiest mousepad journey, just buy a Hien and the Zero and decide which you like more, sell the other, I don't know, like fucking $100 for that, and that's all you got to do with mousepads. But or you can just watch the rest of this tier list and learn about things like the Glorious Ice. Honestly, I think this mousepad is $12. That's a sale it was on. I gotta see if it's still on that. This is honestly incredible to me. It must be selling so well. Glorious is a great company. That's why they make it so cheap. But for $12, I can't even harp on it as much as I want to. Like, yeah, it's not good. And I feel like this next generation of premium artisanal mouse pads did flop. But for $12, it is a speed surface until it becomes inconsistent if it gets any like dirt or oils on it, which happened to me like within a day, I'm pretty sure. So just not good mouse pads. And I just spotted that there are 783 reviews, average 4.5 stars. That's kind of insane to me. We need to get some detectives on that one. But regardless, it's $12 before shipping, and that is just incredibly cheap for what is a pretty unique mousepad. Doesn't actually have glass in it, so it's false advertising. But yeah, you can watch my original review of it. Linus Tech Tips mousepad. Honestly, for the price and the sizes that is available for the desk mat, if you like the design, it's a solid control pad. He did the video on it where he tested the tracking. It's good at tracking a modern sensor. Who would have thought that? But yeah, it's honestly B or A tier. I kind of fuck with it because it's actually like YouTuber merch that is solid quality-wise. And you gotta give them credit for that. There's like well above 2XL sizes for I think $30. I don't know if they still sell it. If they don't, that's really awkward. But yeah, Linus Tech Tip. Shout out to him. That's my guy. Next up is the Lethal Gaming Gear Saturn, which is essentially an Artisan Zero clone for $30, which is around half the price. And it does improve on the notorious hair issue that the Artisan Zero has, where hairs will get stuck in the mousepad. If you really want to remove them, you have to use tweezers. I've just let mine look like shit over the years. But yeah, the Saturn is a very solid control pad option for $30, non-coated, not affected by humidity. Similar to the Zero, it feels quick to get the mouse going initially, but still controlled while in motion. Very good quality-wise. If you're in the US and you want a budget Zero or an alternative to the Zero, it's really a no-brainer. But if you're outside the US, the Lethal Gaming Gear shipping fees will be higher, and at that point you might as well just get a Zero unless it's actually cheaper to your country. But yeah, Saturn, very sick overall, good mousepad. Yuki Aim Pad is up next. This is going to be the first Hien clone, a mousepad that I actually have not posted a full review of because I am actually still testing it, and I'll be posting a review soon. I got this one pretty recently. What makes it special is the rubber base. It's not natural rubber like almost every mousepad uses. It's some type of pour-on foam like Artisan mousepads have, and once it's set on your desk, you can see it's an extremely good base. So it moved a little bit. I'll do a more detailed review at some point. I don't really think it's worth it. It's $50 for a 450 by 400 size, and the texture feels the same as the white version of the Aqua Control Plus. So it's definitely something unique, and if you're looking for it, you can get it. But yeah, it's their performance mouse pad. The Hien clone tier is not a diss, by the way. It's just an easy way to categorize the mouse pads that wind up in here, and I will rank them left to right based on which are the best. The best being on the left. That's a really important clarification. Now we have the Decanic Control, which you can't buy anymore. They stopped producing it. I think the factory just got bought out by Mousepad Company because it's the same fabric, but Mousepad Company's a lot more extravagant with their designs and such, and they seem to have improved in the past few years in terms of quality. So yeah, Mousepad Company is a solid option, a bit on the pricier side, but if you want like an aesthetic mousepad, it's definitely not a bad product at $40 for a desk mat version. It could honestly even go in the S tier, because the Esport Tiger EBA is the same type of material, just a smaller size and a different design basically. And both of these pads are really solid options. I think it's like a mesh material, and of course the Decanic Control, same thing, but you can't buy it anymore. Cooler Master MP510, my bad. Outdated Cordura pad. They made the MP511, which I would hope is on this list. Yup. And it's just a generally better version, but of course, since it's Cooler Master, it has to have some quality issue. At least for the early batches, the MP511 did not lie flat, which was really disappointing to see because it costs $35 for an XL size, $50 for a double XL. And if you got a good copy, this is a very solid Cordura pad. Even the other quality aspects like stitched edges and rubber base seem to be good. But yeah, Cooler Master can never just seem to execute with quality, unfortunately. And there are just so many good Cordura mousepad options that share the features at the price point that it just makes the Cooler Master ones hard for me to recommend. One is the MPC 450, definitely going in the seal of approval tier. When it came out, definitely one of the first Cordura mousepads to really just get everything right. Had a stupid logo at first, but they got rid of it. What a company. And yeah, now it's just solid. Some people do have sensor issues with the Hero sensor. I've personally never had those, and it hasn't fucked with my LOD, but it is a different type of material. Almost feels like a pair of jeans. Really low friction, so it might be too fast for some people, but yeah, super solid Cordura pad for the price. The MPX 450, or fuck, I don't even remember what it was, MPX 390. Wow, I'm starting to forget about these mouse pads I haven't touched in a year. Definitely overpriced for what it was. It was like $60. Its gimmick was that it had a silicone base, and it felt really good quality-wise, but it was a 390mm by 390mm pad for $60. So yeah, too small, really just wasn't worth the money, but it was another interesting Cordura pad. The Esport Tiger Neon, this is a smooth cloth control pad. Doesn't last a long time though, that's the only unfortunate thing about it. But I feel like it definitely belongs in the B tier. It's basically just a smoother and more controlled version of the Longteng. And I think both of them are solid control pads for the price. Nothing that I'm really recommending a lot. But yeah, pretty cool. And I would say better than something like a GSRSE. Next up is the Odin Infinity, which is actually one of the original hybrid pad Hien clones. So it will be going in the Hien clone tier. But I do like this one a lot. Available for $30. Does have quite the same flair that an actual Hien does, but for half the price, it's an insanely good mouse pad. So it's a bit smoother and it doesn't have the same level of control, but it's definitely a really good like entry level mouse pad if you want to experience something faster than just like standard cloth. Speaking of standard cloth, we have the Steelseries QCK, best-selling mousepad ever, therefore the greatest mousepad ever. Kidding, this is honestly, it's like disposable. That's how I feel big brand mousepads are. QCKs are available everywhere, and I feel like everybody has had one at one point, but that doesn't make it a good mousepad. I feel like if you're willing to spend like $80, $100 on a mouse, spend $30 and get yourself a mousepad in the A tier or above instead of a dirty 5-year-old QCK. Next up, Lethal Gaming Gear Mercury, a Hien clone. Haven't done a full review of it. It's very solid though. I would say it is somewhere in between the Infinity and the Strider. Feels quite close to the actual Hien. I should post a full review. But yeah, that's from Lethal Gaming Gear, so very solid. Same quality as the Saturn, Venus, all of their other pads. Next up, we have the Esport Tiger. I don't even want to pronounce this. Qinsui? Is that how you say it? It's not a great mouse pad. It's like 6mm thick. Or not 6, it's like 10mm thick. Quite a thick mouse pad. Affected by humidity. It was just very slow and not good when I had tried it in the past. And now we have the Qinsui Xuan. This is just looking bad for me at this point. This is not racially motivated. I just don't like the mouse pads, you see. Some of these Esport Tiger pads I'm fond of, but yeah, not the Qinsui ones. Next up is the Lethal Gaming Gear Venus, which is going in the seal of approval tier, comparable to the Hayate Kou, but definitely not a direct clone of it. It's one of the mouse pads that I personally use most, especially recently with glass skates and just other types of mouse feet being a lot more common. It's a great pad for those along with traditional PTFE like Core Pads, Tiger Ice. Just a really good speed pad, great quality for $30 of course, and you see it's not in the Hien clone tier despite being a textured mousepad. It's crazy. Lethal Gaming Gear did what nobody else could and made a textured mousepad that does not feel like the Artisan Hien. But yeah, the Venus is great and definitely similar to the Kou in that it's a fast textured mousepad that is not abrasive or really rough on your skin. Next up is the Artisan Raiden. I'm going to throw this in the S tier. It's an artisan pad, so of course the quality is going to be great, but my Raiden actually did have issues wearing down over the course of multiple months, and even after washing it, I could never revive it to the original speed. And for a $60 mousepad, that's basically an investment. You don't really want it to wear down, so I was disappointed with that, but the texture is like super silky and smooth. but it's a very fast pad. Some pads are super smooth and controlled. The Raiden is the opposite. Since the weave is so tight, it does cause some issues with sensor incompatibility on old Zowie mice, and like the Hero sensor on Logitech are the only examples that come to mind. So keep that in mind. Not really a perfect mouse pad though. The Shirinkai, same thing. It's an Artisan mouse pad, their most expensive one, the only mouse pad that is truly infused with glass. But since the Shirinkai has a coating, it does inevitably wear down if you use it a lot, and it's not something that I can really recommend. It is once again in that category of just like super premium enthusiast mouse pad. But if you just want a crazy speed pad that isn't actually glass, the Shirinkai is the recommendation. I'll throw it A tier because even once it's expired, or well, once the coating wears off, you can just rip off the coating and then you basically have a faux Artisan Hien. So it could even be in the Hien clone tier. I think that is actually the place to put it. Next up is the Glorious Fire and the Fnatic Dash. These are both Hien clones, the same exact mousepad made by the same manufacturer, and they are not good. I would say they're the most watered down and just weakest version of the Hien clones. Not really good value compared to the ones on the left. So yeah, not a big fan of the Fire and Fnatic Dash. Need to speed up the pace. The Razer Strider. This is another Hien clone. I would say it's one of the better ones for $30. It is definitely a high quality mousepad from Razer, which I was surprised by because generally I hadn't liked their mousepads at all. It's a very fast and gritty texture though, very similar to the Zowie GTFX. Where is it? I would say the Strider is a better buy than the GTFX because there is a notorious issue with the GTFX not lying flat, and just generally the quality and the availability of the Strider is better than the GTFX in 2022. After this, we have the Slothmat, which is actually the first mousepad I ever used. I don't even know how I found it. The company doesn't exist anymore, which is tragic. So like all of the other no longer produced mousepads, it's going in the dog shit tier. Xraypad Minerva. This can be another B tier control cloth mousepad. It's made by Xraypad, not much to say about it. It was basically their version of the GSRSE. They made like a baby blue one as well, and it's nothing I really recommend, but it's another control pad option. Longteng Huoyun. This is basically the Aqua Control Plus, I believe, the Strata edition, just with a different print exclusive to Esport Tiger. So it could be argued into the Hien clone tier, but I think it fits better in the B tier. I don't know, not much to say about it. Odin Zero Gravity. Okay, this is a proper dog shit one because they have kind of accepted that the Infinity is their performance mousepad, and now they just like put cool designs on the Zero Gravity and do collabs with people. So yeah, it's kind of just an aesthetic control pad, not gonna have great consistency or really performance in my opinion. So gonna go in that tier. Wait, where the fuck? Oh, I just totally schizo down. Couldn't find the other pads. Okay, Xraypad Equate Plus. Definition of a C-tier mousepad. The Equate Plus is basically an improved version of the Xraypad Equate, which isn't on this list, and these are just very grainy textured slow mousepads, which I just can't recommend at all. If there's a single Equate Plus user in the comments, let me know. Because I wouldn't want to be you. I'm kidding, of course. But yeah, it's not a great mousepad. Now we have the Hystar. Oh, I forgot about this one. This is actually arguably a weaker Hien clone than the Dash and the Fire. They claim that they're making an updated performance version. I'd be keen to try that because the first one was just... it failed in a lot of aspects for a Hien clone. It's the classic TikTok mousepad, though. Now we have the Artisan Hayate Kou, easily my least favorite Artisan mousepad. It just feels worse than the Hayate Otsu in every way, and it definitely doesn't belong in the dog shit tier. It's more of a statement to boycott the Hayate Kou than that it actually belongs in the dog shit tier, if you're getting what I'm getting at. Next up, we have this Astolfo anime mousepad. I don't know, I reviewed it, like the ass is a wrist rest. I'd never watched anime, so I don't really get the reference when I posted a video. That's all the comments I got, so I'll put it in this tier. Guys, comment about it as well. Just kidding, going in dog shit. And now we have the Pure Track Talent, very underrated mousepad. They've been around forever as a company. The pads don't use stitched edges, which helps them keep the price down. They're very reasonably priced, but also over time they obviously will fray. And I'm not sure why I like them so much, but for just a standard cloth pad, they have a very silky, like surface texture feeling, and just all around a great underrated mousepad. In my opinion, black version's like $15. Now we have the Pferdeki pad, another underrated piss cheap mousepad. It used to be $10 on Amazon, but after my review, they permanently raised the price to $20. I'm sorry, it was too good of a value. But once I made that known, there were consequences, which I guess is an important life lesson. But yeah, this is a literal clone of the Glide 38, which for some reason is not on this tier list. God damn it, send it out. But whatever, yeah, it's basically the Glide 38, but cheaper. No difference, same like silicone base. Next up is the Xraypad Thor, not a mousepad I really recommend. It is coated, it's very inconsistent, and once that coating wears off, it becomes a mud pad. It was one of the first mousepads I reviewed, the first speed pad I ever tried, so it was pretty cool, but it's not worth it long term. Now we have the HyperX Fury S. I would say this is better than most big brand mousepads quality-wise. It doesn't have that disposable feeling I talked about with the QCK or the G640, but it's still susceptible to humidity issues and wears down pretty quickly compared to higher quality pads. So I don't really recommend buying it, but definitely in the B or the A tier. Next up is the Lethal Gaming Gear Jupiter, which is probably the slowest mousepad on the market. I have honestly not touched this thing much since I reviewed it because it's straight up just too slow for me. Definitely in the same category as the GSR in just too slow for me to want to use. I don't know, just all in all, too slow for me, but it's an option if you're into the slowest of the slow mousepads. Next up, Esport Tiger Lingyun. I would throw this in the B tier. Once again, it is a grainy textured pad from Esport Tiger, similar to the Huoyun, not the exact same thing. I would honestly fucking flip a coin between those two to find out which I prefer. Now we have the GameSense Radar. I would put this in the S tier actually, because I would say it's better than the GP4, but not as good as the Lethal Gaming Gear Saturn. The newer versions actually have designs on them. They don't sell the all black one anymore. I think they're $35, 500 by 500 size. So it's a solid control pad. I don't like how the static friction's high. It does make it better for slower paced games, though I know a lot of Valorant people like it. So yeah, it's a solid mousepad, good quality, and decent surface from GameSense. Now the Xraypad Traygun, another pad I'm going to throw in either the A or the S tier. One of my favorite and I think the best Cordura mousepads. It's a very smooth surface, unlike the MPC 450. Definitely one of the better Cordura pads on the market. The only caveat is that it does have the old Xraypad base, so the quality is not that good. Mine had some issues feeling bumpy, and I believe it didn't lay perfectly flat. So not a perfect pad, but one of the better Cordura ones. Now the G640, which probably this rating is going to piss a lot of people off because every Valorant pro uses it. The difference is, like I say before, it's a disposable mousepad. If you're a pro who's getting sponsored by Logitech and you have 100 G640s, yeah, whenever it feels like shit, you just pull out a new one. But if you're a 14-year-old Brazilian kid trying to make it big, you're not going to want to use a G640 after like just fucking swiping your mouse on it for months and months on end. So yeah, if you're willing to buy a new pad every few months, sure, get a G640. But if you want a like one and done deal with a mouse pad, lots of better control pad options are available in my opinion. Like I've even bought one recently and I was like, wow, I was right about this mouse pad, right once it started to feel like shit. Now we have spraying Pledge on your desk and just using that as the mouse pad. Definitely do not recommend doing this. You'll just inhale the chemicals and then you're just like kind of weird for the rest of the day. Now we have the Gutsy Aiden mousepad. I'm going to throw this in C tier. He actually commented on my last tier list because I rated the Inked gaming pad better despite them using the same OEM. And my reasoning for that is the Ink gaming pad is fucking custom. That's the whole point of it. Why would you just want to buy somebody else's custom designs for a higher price? So definitely firmly putting this in the C tier, another TikTok mousepad. And like, if you like the designs, go ahead. But I would always just recommend like putting whatever you want on an Inked gaming pad. Now we have the Esport Tiger Grandmaster, one of their better pads quality-wise. I'm going to put this in the A tier. Not sure exactly what it's made out of, nylon maybe if I recall correctly, but it's a very low friction and kind of just like light gliding experience, but if you put in pressure, slows down the mouse pad a lot, so it's interesting in that regard, has the SR base and actually laid flat. Why do I remember this shit? Now we have the most confusing mouse pads, the Xraypad Aqua Control Plus. The white version is a different thing than the black version, but apparently the black version is now called the Aqua Control 2. So Aqua Control plus black, obsolete. Aqua Control plus 2, seal of approval. Aqua Control plus white, I don't know, fucking A tier, S tier, one of those. It has a lower quality base and raised stitched edges compared to the Aqua Control 2. So I recommend the Aqua Control 2. Very confusing naming, and I wish Xraypad was better at it. Now we have the Fnatic Focus 3. I don't know, this could go in the A tier or the B tier. New control pad from Fnatic. I actually haven't done a full review of it. The sizing is a bit too small on their large, but it's a water repellent surface. It's like 20 bucks for the pad, and it's overall just solid for the price. It's not going to wear down like most big brand mouse pads do, so you gotta give them credit for that. Yeah, I'll throw it in the A tier. Solid control pad. Now the Glorious 3XL. Absolute dog shit. Glorious is just not good at making mouse pads, and I feel like they can just move on to easier things like keyboards, because clearly the mouse pad with no moving parts is just too hard. I mean, all jokes aside, the Glorious 3XL is just a huge hunk of cloth with really nothing special about it, no glide, just doesn't do you any favors, not resistant to humidity. I didn't have the 3XL version, I had the XL version, so it's just like, what's the point? This thing just sucks. I think it's one of the few products that I've just straight up thrown out. Usually I just give them to a homeless shelter because I'm like, people could use these, but not the Glorious 3XL. Now we have the Pulsar Power Control, and I'm going to throw this in the Hien clone tier list. It might be the same exact fabric as the Yuki Aim pad, but it does not have the pour-on base. It's like $30 or $25, so it's a good price. Red mouse pad, sorta close to the Hien in terms of feeling, close to the Aqua Control Plus as well. But yeah, nothing really special about it. And now, last but not least, we have the mouse pad that does not exist yet, but soon will, the Boardzy Pad. No ETA yet, but this is going to change the world. That's a better campaign slogan than like Joe Biden. But yeah, all jokes aside, I did find a manufacturer for Boardzy Pad, and I think it is going to... It's going to crush your expectations. That's all I can say about it. So a preemptive seal of approval, definitely no bias. It's just a feeling, you know. But that's going to be all for this tier list, updated mousepad tier list. Let me just give things a look. Okay, yeah, I'm going to move a few of these down to dog shit just to get the point across. Okay, now this tier list is looking good. Definitely not feeling as sharp mentally as I did when I began recording this video, but that's fine because the tier list has concluded. Let me know what you think of it in the comments down below, and I would say for 90% of these mousepads, I have a full review posted if you want more information. Even though I think this is the longest video I've ever posted on my channel, this is full of information. But yeah, that's about all there is to say about mousepads, surprisingly. If you could be so kind as to leave a like and subscribe, I would appreciate it greatly. If not, and you're really watching at this point, I don't know what you're doing, man. But yeah, that's all. Hope you enjoyed. New one in 6 months. If I missed a mousepad, let me know what it is, and I'll reply to your comment with what tier it would be in. Peace. And I would say the most influential mousepad. I don't want to call this the Martin Luther King of mousepads, but